entire farm should be considered as a homogeneous entity. All the parameters of soil and crop parameters will be uniform throughout the field. This is not the route we have taken. We've taken a roundabout route. We've used differential agriculture, thinking that the farm is divided into various sites which have different varying parameters. We implemented the idea of sustainable agriculture, a method of agriculture that not only preserves the profitability of the farm, but also preserves the environment. Kalpavriksha, that is what our application does. It uses resource application and various agricultural practices to improve the profitability of the farm, also preserve the environment. Now, we do this in two different parts. Level 1 consists of constant monitoring of data at periodic times, and this is done using a wireless network of auto-configurable sensors. It's a mesh network, and this data is sent to the centralized database server. And the second part of our implementation is our application, which actually makes use of these inputs, of these live monitors of data, and does an analysis of them and gives you a basic prediction model. Let's take a look at Kalpavriksha, a bird's eye view of our project, divided into 3 modules. First module being the data acquisition module, the second module being the workspace analysis module, and the third being the optimization module, that is the dynamic learning module. Now, the data acquisition module is about the wireless sensor mesh network that I just mentioned. Also, we can have data from various other sources, various other existing data monitoring systems that could be available. The workspace analysis is the actual application where you can perform analysis of the data. You can have various alerts wherein if a certain parameter crosses a certain threshold value, you can probably alert the user about it. The third being the optimization model. It is a learning system which is a procedural learning system which learns iteratively. And what happens is during its learning process, it becomes adaptive to certain errors that might happen. It is a multi-objective optimization. Like I mentioned, not only preserve the profitability, but also the nutrient quality, soil quality of the farm. Let us take a look at our application. We'll have a small demo. That is the first page of our application. You can select the zone. We've selected the west zone. We've got Nasik, Pune, and Ahmedabad as the active clusters ready. Let's check out the Nasik cluster. We've got a certain active nodes there, saying live nodes, Devlali camps. Let's consider a certain camp. Now, to your right side, you have a temperature as your sensor under observation currently. Below, you just have a snapshot of the area that you're currently viewing. Now, what you can do is you can configure your nodes as to whatever sensors you want them to send to you. And you can also customize your alerts here. Let's view the node details, please. Yeah, you have a workspace on your right-hand side in which you can actually take various graphs and perform an analysis. You can view them in any way that you want to. Also, the data acquisition module that I mentioned before, we call this small application of live monitors, which will actually demonstrate how the data comes in from the nodes that we currently have in our possession.
These are the wireless sensor nodes. It's called a moat. It has a sensor board, and below which you have below which you have the wireless transceiver. Now, on each node, we have implemented an XMesh protocol. It's a self-healing, self-correcting protocol. Now, these modes are right now measuring the live temperature and the light intensity in this room. Okay, the data from these nodes go to this device. This device is a single board computer. It's called Stargate Gateway. It has a transceiver on it. Now, assume these nodes to be in agricultural field, and this Stargate connected on the farm field and having internet capability on it. All the data from these nodes go to the Stargate, and over the Ethernet, our application picks up the packets, live packets, and plots live charts. As a demonstration, I will show you the node 2 graph. Right now, you can see the light intensity is around 2,000 lumens. Now, if I cover this node, you will see a dip in the value of light intensity, and this is all happening over Ethernet. Okay, now these nodes are also capable of sending GPS data to the Stargate. Now, once you collect the GPS data, you can plot soil maps. Now, the maps the color of the zones indicate the average moisture content of that field. So you can identify those fields which require urgent irrigation. Now, Saili will take over with the advanced analysis.
We also have a small module, advanced analysis, just for statistical analysis of the data that we've viewed. Yeah, you can have various forms of viewing the data on 2D, 3D, and for statistical analysis, you can have functions like mean, medians to calculate the upper quartiles and the lower quartiles. Let's move ahead. I would like to go forward to the optimization model. Yeah, here is where the data is displayed for the current node that we've selected. There's some TP resolution problem there. The temperature, the watering plan, the soil characteristics, and the nitrogen content are all displayed for the current node in question. For all these parameters that are present, we've also got a best case and a worst case prediction model there in the graph below. Also, the system sends you suggestions about what you should do in case there is a problem, there's an anomaly in any of the parameters there. Moving ahead, I would like to explain the system architecture, the flow of data in my application. Let's begin. You have the clusters as the base, is where the data begins, the monitoring of the data begins. All of it goes using this target gateway to the centralized database server. Now, at this instant, I would like to mention that we integrate other existing data monitoring systems also. Now, we do this using extraction, transformation, and loading. We accept the data that has come, make it into a format that is compatible for our application, and integrate it in the same. Now, after doing that, we have a market landscape mapped for our application. Now, this market landscape consists of agricultural researchers because, according to us, such an extensive amount of data cannot be available at a singular site. That is why we thought agricultural researchers will obtain an extensive amount of data from our application. Secondly, we thought of government and corporate professionals because government professionals have centers like Krishi Kendra and APMC, which could actually forward this scheme over to the grassroots level user, the main benefiter of our application, the farmer. Also, nowadays, we have corporate contract farming on a very large scale. For instance, Reliance Fresh and even Food Bazaar, they are into contract farming on a very large scale. So they could be the corporate professionals who could actually make use of our application. Moving forward, I would like to mention a few of the case studies that we had a look at before developing this application. There's the Iowa State University, who's currently developing two projects. One only based on the potassium of a certain quantity of soil, and one based on nitrates. Now, what we felt looking at all three case studies, the Iowa State case study, the Madison Farms, and the West Bengal, they concentrated only on certain parameters and not the overall parameters that are required for the crop production. And also, the absence of learning module, the absence of a learning system greatly reduced their efforts. Though Madison Farms had a greater amount of yield available, but that was because fertility management encompassed many of those parameters. So what our application does is integrate it's an end-to-end system. It actually consists of every step of the data monitoring all the way to the entire crop year prediction model. Now for this, we've currently contacted University of Queensland in Australia, and they have this product called AppSim, Agricultural Production System Simulator. And this is a prediction model, but we are currently collaborating with them, and they've given us a license to use their product for experimental purposes. So what we are doing is taking the model a little further, and we are going to make it a year crop cycle. A year crop cycle not only for a specific crop, but for an entire year. Because in India we have Kharif season, Rabi season. So we predict an entire year cycle so that the nutrient value in the farm is basically based upon. Now, Kalpavriksha does not only affect a farmer or a government or something like that, or something that is individual. It also affects the ecology because by using the right amount of resources, the right amount of fertilizers, the right amount of water, we're not only increasing the productivity, but we are taking a look at how we could prevent land from becoming barren or salinated due to excessive use of fertilizers and everything. So Kalpavriksha is our bit to help the environment gain a right amount of perspective.
Thank you very much, Team Novices. We shall now have 5 minutes of Q&A from the judges.